Good, good morning. I can't talk this morning, apparently. So it's Memorial Day, Monday, May 26, 2025. I've got the day off, which is exciting. So I'm going to try and get used to looking at the camera, which is over there. The second video should be going up today at 10 a.m. That was the one to be at the gym, but I thought about it a little bit, and if I'm going to do this thing, I'm going to give it an actual shot. So one thing I noticed when I was editing, I put air quotes because I didn't really edit much of anything. I just put them together in an editing software. The videos from yesterday, the sound quality at the gym was pretty poor. So you might notice something a little different. It's probably hard to notice these guys. These were pretty affordable, and it's just a little microphone. So I'm hoping that I can get some better sound quality. So we got a packed full day today. We're gonna go on a hike. I'll take you guys with on that, and got the gym. So yeah, hope you enjoy the ride along. So we're gonna give this thing a shot and give it a fair chance. All right, good morning yet again. So we ate breakfast, and we are on our way to go to do our hike. The hike is out in Crystal Cove, at Crystal Cove State Park, which is kind of like by Newport Beach. Weather is pretty good right now. It's like 67, a little partly cloudy out, which would be nice. Or actually, it's overcast right now. So, but usually the sun pokes out. So this one is apparently almost 5 miles. It's four and some change, with a little bit of elevation gain. Nothing like super crazy, but it's gonna take me probably about 2 hours to complete the loop, like a little bit longer than that. So we're heading out now because I do have a trainer appointment a little bit later at 3 p.m. So just trying to get out and back in time for me to I probably won't change, but we'll need to get in some better clothes, or not better clothes, just get everything prepped. So yeah, I haven't done this one. This will be a new one for me, and I found this on All Trails. So just the hiking down in that area in general is really beautiful, because you get really good views of the San Gabriel Mountains, and then also the views of Crystal Cove. So hopefully the sun pokes its head out. It's always nice to have some cloud cover, because when you start moving, you get warm, and it's nice to just kind of enjoy yourself without being dripping sweat. But I also don't mind a nice hot hike every now and then. I got some water, a couple snacks. We don't need anything super intense, since we're just going for a couple hours and we're not far away. So not really worried about running into any issues. So we're just gonna go cruise over there, and then I will get some shots when we get over there, and we'll talk about life and whatever else comes up. So thanks for joining. I'm looking forward to it. It's Memorial Day, by the way. So I'm an Air Force veteran. It's obviously, this day is not for me. It's to remember the ones that we lost. So while I'm going out of here, I'm certainly keeping in mind that there are people who paid the ultimate price for our country, and for their families lost them. So while it's nice to have a day off, just remember what Memorial Day is really all about, and find some time to sink into some gratitude and give thanks, because there are some people with a loved one that's no longer here. So anyways, I will catch you guys in a little bit when we're there. All right, we are here. Scott Cruise. I got that. Now we just gotta find the entrance. Hang on. Finally made it. Took me a minute to find. Watch out for rattlesnakes.
That rock was how I bought my first house. So the cloud cover right now is pretty perfect. This is the very start of the trail, just right past the visitor center. So we're heading north right now, going in a clockwise loop, which was the recommended direction. You can go either way, but what I hear is there's pretty good a little amount of incline for a couple miles, so we're just going to take in some of the scenery. So I was just talking to some women on the path. We're not even 10 minutes in, but look at this. We already have sweeping views of the Pacific pretty early on. So this is 10 minutes in, so we probably got a lot more in store for us. So check in later. All right, that last one, I said 10 minutes in, but it was really probably about 5 minutes. The point is, right off the bat, you get some great views. So we're a little bit, now probably about 10, 15 minutes in the hike. And some of these sweeping hilly views, it's just absolutely gorgeous. And then in the background, you can still see the ocean. So we're just continuing to climb. The incline's not that bad, but just kind of steady incline, nothing too intense. It will get your blood pumping, as you can hear. I'm a little short of breath, but so far the level of effort is not extremely strenuous, but nice, solid, good enough to get your blood going. So great so far. Had to take a video of this, just the beautiful wildflower bloom on the side here. I don't know if this does it justice, but super pretty. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get close enough, but nope, there's a hummingbird right there. Yeah, there he goes. So one thing to note is this is a shared path for hikers, runners, and mountain bikers, which isn't a problem. It's just you're going to encounter some bikers. And one guy just passed me, and it made me think about how I just walked up that hill and he just rode up it. So if you're a cyclist, you know hill climbs can be pretty daunting. So shout out to that guy for climbing the hill. So oh man, I wish here, let's just do this so you guys can see the wildflowers. Super pretty. Got a little bit of a climb coming up. It's not going to be too bad, but I'm definitely going to be out of breath when I get to the top of it, and I'll show you just how out of breath in a second. All right. Whew. Calves are screaming after that one. It was pretty good grade, maybe about that much, a little bit steeper. Times like those, I think of guys like the biker. That would have been an intense climb. I hope he flipped it into a better gear on the downhill to get as high up that thing as he could. Because trying to do that from a normal pace at the bottom, no bueno. All right, we'll probably take a break up here to chat and grab some water, but so far, so good. This is the second one of these guys I've come across. He's one of those stink beetles. He's just making his way. We'll leave him be. All right, see you later, buddy. We're going to the top of this hill, wherever that leads. So looks like we got a sign here about the South Coast Wilderness. Memories of a pancake breakfast. Spring-loaded flowers, monkey flower, and keeping track of deer tracks. Can't get there, it's closed off, but Seems like that's the way, but instead we're gonna go up this big hill. Woohoo! It's a perfect spot to get some water, take a little break after that climb. Calves are screaming. Man, what a view. I guess now's a good time to talk about my boots. These are the Moab 3s from Moro, and this is the first hike with them. I took them out yesterday with Malcolm, but it wasn't really a good break-in, I would say. This is the first like legit test, and I definitely appreciate there's a little bit of extra room. My feet swell a lot, so these are holding up really well with some stability. It's not a whole lot of movement, but just enough so my feet can kind of swell up, and they're working out really good, and I'm keeping traction. They're not super heavy, so 10 out of 10 so far, and they're breathable. A lot of these cacti are getting a bunch of these really pretty blooms on here. You can see, so you get a lot of these on this trail here. Just in case, always be aware of your surroundings. Don't go off trail. Just got a bunch of houses here, right on the edge. Gotta have some just beautiful views of this whole thing. Being that this is out in essentially Newport Coast, I can't imagine that any of these houses are less than 5 million. I don't know, maybe some of these are condos, I can't really tell, but regardless, property price is going to be expensive out here. And you get some pretty good views, so I guess that kind of makes sense. But this trail continues to just be astounding. Some little poles here, which is side poles here, which is I think is a perfect spot for a banana and an orange. So far, this trail is awesome. It's got its fair share of like little climbs, but I wouldn't say that it's anything super intense. I wouldn't bring young kids on this. I would say that, like, you know, kids like 9 and above probably, you know, could do this. So there are some challenging little climbs, but nothing too strenuous. You're just out of breath at the top, so you can kind of just take your time. But most people who are in fair shape can do it just fine. I've seen grandmas and grandpas on this trail with some hiking poles doing it, no problem. So the weather is perfect right now. There's really not a whole lot of wind, so if it was super sunny, it would be pretty hot right now. So I think it's probably like 70 degrees or something, but there's some humidity because of all the vegetation. But so far, this is awesome. I'm really having a good time. So I'm gonna finish up these snacks and keep moving. We should be about 1.5 miles out from being done, and so maybe another 30 minutes or so. So check in again. Another stunning view. This goes for miles and miles. Another crazy cool view here. Scoot back so get off the road here. But it just goes all the way back. See the highway there. And then we're going to continue on this way, but there is a looks like a pretty interesting climb. So I'm going to get a shot at the top of the hill, what looks like it's probably going to be a pretty incredible view. So we'll chat when we get to the top. So we actually took a little bit of a wrong turn, but the benefit is that it took us to quite a cool little scenic spot here. So we're now back on the main path, so we're going to head back down that way. We just added I don't know, maybe like a quarter mile on, but honestly, I'm not mad about it. It's been really nice so far, so we're just going to keep trucking along. All right, let me be a prime example of checking maps and everything early on, making sure you know. I am like, let's see, like almost 6.5 miles in, and it says I'm about 2/3 of the way there. So the 5 miles thing was I must have completely misread the trail loop. Nonetheless, we've got a little ways to go, but the good thing is I had brought a banana, 2 mandarins, and plenty of water and a protein bar. So still got plenty of water left. Like, it's not a problem. It's just going to take me a little bit longer to finish, but definitely good to be aware. So don't make the same mistake I did and thoroughly check the map. I'm gonna have to go back and check because I swear that it said like 4.9 miles, but maybe I misread that and that was the star rating of the trail or something, like out of 5. So I'll have to go back and look when we're settled, but for now we're gonna keep grooving. And by the way, this guy is awesome. I'll have to check the sound quality when we get back, but it's stayed connected the whole time. I forget that I'm wearing it. The little receiver that's attached to the phone is super easy to just snap in. It's not abrasive to the phone. It's not huge. Doesn't add a bunch of weight. So I'm gonna have to check the sound quality when we get back and throw these on the computer, but I think it's gonna be fine. So pretty happy with these so far, and hopefully it gives a better end result for you guys. So we're gonna keep cruising. I mean, the views are still phenomenal. You know, the cloud cover really is nice, because if it was full sun, it would be pretty rough right now. So there's not a lot of wind flow happening. So anyways, we're gonna keep moving. So apparently up here there's a camping area, and just said you have to have a permit, but that's interesting to keep in mind. I didn't know you could camp up here, and this is kind of in the backyard, so I'm going to keep that one in my back pocket, see what needs to be done to get a camping permit for that, because it would just be fun to, you know, do a little backyard camping session, if you will. And I definitely would want to get some, you know, more further away camping trips planned out, but since I haven't really done any solo camping trips, that might be a great way just to get my feet wet, get comfortable with some gear, staying out in the wilderness. And then one of the things I would like to do at some point is do the Panorama Trail up in Tahoe. That's a longer trail, but it would be nice to, like, in my mind, I think I could like hike part of that. And I know there's campsites, camp, wake up, hike the rest of it, get out of there. Could be a fun little weekend trip. So I need to do some research to look into that, but would feel much more comfortable doing something like that, having done something like this where it's just like in the backyard. I know the trail. Looks like I could hike the other direction from where I came from, and I wouldn't have to hike this big 6-mile loop. So maybe hike in counterclockwise instead of clockwise the way I went, camp there, and then wake up in the morning and hike the other way on the way out. In fact, in the parking lot, I saw a lady that had a pack on, and she looked like she was getting out of there. So I wonder if maybe that's what she did, was hiked out, because she had like quite a bit of gear on, and maybe, you know, some people might train by carrying that gear on their back, but it seems more likely that she might have been backpacking tonight. So it's all sort of adding together now. And yeah, so I will keep that one in mind, and that could be another adventure that I take you guys on. So stay tuned for that. Okay, so there is a little bit of wind that is kind of starting to pick up, and I don't know what it sounds like just yet because I haven't had a chance to review the footage, but there are these little fuzzy microphone covers that came with the microphone system, and I did order some off of Amazon, but I didn't know that they came in there. So there's just like a tiny little bit of wind. So I'm going to keep this thing on for the next couple of clips and see if there's any big difference, but hopefully like you can't hear that gust of wind. And I'll try it again as we get up here a little bit like further. There's the ocean over there. So once we start cresting some of these ridges, we should get some more wind, and hopefully that will be a good little test to see how those things work out. There was a drone flying around here. Don't know where it went. It's somewhere over here, flying in the air. You're not gonna be able to see it. I can't see it. I saw one of these signs earlier and I forgot to take it, but there's restoration in progress, and there's all these areas that are blocked off. And so they're just protecting areas because there's loss of habitat due to urban development. So they're protecting some of this land, which is great. So just wanted to share that. Hopefully he stays where he is. Oh, yeah, there he goes. I was trying to get close, but he's like, nope. He had a really cool, interesting pattern on him. And I was hoping I could get closer, but I was lucky that he let me get that close. All right, the trail really giving us its full, that was a big lizard, full beach panorama here. Just super beautiful. I'm gonna stick it up there so you guys can see. So we've got like, I think like a mile left actually at this time. Which, you know, honestly with the view like that, how can you be mad about something like that? You can see like a little point over there. It's just a really fantastic view. The sun's like kind of poking its head out a little bit. So our moving time is right about now. We're heading up on about three hours of moving time. So still not a, you know, it's a good hike, but it's not unbearably long. But I've been moving, so I'll go over my pace at the end when I get there. So we'll chat a little bit about that because I've been kind of cooking and I'm impressed with myself today. All right. So it's like the end of the trail. I mean, we've got probably like a mile to go, but it's just all pretty downhill. So I'm definitely seeing now what people are talking about, that the direction I went is the way to go, because if you went the other direction, this would be in like the beginning of your hike. And this climb is pretty steep that takes you all the way to like your elevation of like 850, 900 feet. So it would be pretty intense. But I kind of like this because we're at the end, and like, I mean, look at these views. It's pretty incredible. So, and then you've got all the way over here. So it's just, I mean, come on. All right, we got to wrap around, but we've essentially made it. So I don't know if you can see down there, right here. That's where we started. So we just got to wrap down around and then make our way that way. But the sun has poked its head out and it is absolutely stunning. So we'll do a recap when we get back to the car, but this has been a awesome little adventure today. So, and we'll have to check the audio quality on this little thing here. There's some wind happening, so hopefully it's doing its job. I'd like to think it is, but I've never used one of these things before, so we shall see. All right, thoughts from the back of the Subaru. That was a really solid trail. It was about almost 10 miles. So I was like way off of what I thought initially. My total moving time was like 3 hours, 20 minutes. It was really nice. I mean, it was just like, you know, not super strenuous. I definitely see why people want to go clockwise, like you do most of your climbing in the beginning. And it's not all at once to get up to elevation, then you're just on the ridge line, you know, great views. Feels secluded. I mean, there was a decent amount of people on the path, but you still got your solitude and you could hear nature, you couldn't hear cars. There's a couple times where you passed by the freeway, but it wasn't too bad. All in all, 10 out of 10 trail. It's moderately hard. I wouldn't say it's like, you know, super difficult, but 10 miles is a long way to walk for some people. And I was cruising at about 3 miles an hour pace, which is pretty quick. So all in all, it was a great trail. I would definitely recommend it to anybody. So I will pop up my moving time. Maybe I'll figure out a way to put it right here. I don't know how to do that yet, but we'll see. So I'm gonna get in the car and start heading back and put my phone on the charger because boy, does it need it. See you guys. Hi. So we're back home and I was wondering to myself how did I see 4.9 miles and then that turned into like essentially 10 miles. So it was a bit of a user error, obviously. So the trail that I had saved was the El Moro Trail Loop, which is actually 4.9 miles. What I just failed to do when I got there, because I was just, I don't know, so excited or whatever, was I forgot to start up the actual trail map. So when I opened up all trails, it just automatically realized like, oh, hey, you're like here near this like loop. So I just started following it without realizing that like I had started a different trail. So what I did was the Crystal Cove Perimeter Loop, which is the like whole perimeter. And that was essentially 10 miles. It's a little bit short. It was like 9 and something. Not upset about it at all, but like, I was just wondering if I had seen that incorrectly, and I didn't. I just didn't activate that trail. So what I needed to do was like go back. Like I went, if you're facing the visitor center, I went left and like just hiked all the way around. Instead, it's like you would go right and then you would break off to the left and then it takes you down a little bit. Then you go up and you actually touch to one of the ridges at the end, which is that end ridge that I was sort of like, you know, starting to get wowed about because you start having these sweeping views of the ocean. So, and then you come down that steep little area and then you loop back. So all in all, like it says, the moving time is supposed to be about like 2 hours and 10 minutes for that one. I would likely believe that's because it's going to be some sharp elevation gain at the beginning. I think at my pace, I probably would have completed that one in like, for sure, shy of 2 hours. I completed the other one, which was like double that in like 3 hours and 20 minutes. So anyways, just a little bit of clarification because I was curious. I was like, how the heck did I do that? So of course it was user error, but we got a beautiful hike out of it. Now we're home and I'm going to put the footage together. And so hopefully you guys enjoy what you see, and let me know in the comments, like, do you like this sort of thing? Would you like me to do like an ASMR type of hike where I just like, you know, don't say anything and just get the sounds of nature? Yeah, so let me know what you guys think, and hopefully you enjoyed, because I had a really good time doing it and I'd like to keep doing it. So have a great day and happy Memorial Day.